Ow. Hi! Hi! How are you? I have missed you. How is your day going? Comment down below. Come on, I have to know. Come on. I want to know. I want to know like I know. Okay? Chalo. Comment. Just do not ask me math or any other, study related questions because I am not that smart, okay? I am not Albert Einstein. Please. No. I am a below average student who got 89.2%. No, 4%. Yes. So I know I was supposed to post a vlog last week, but I edited the whole vlog and I did not like it, so I did not post it. Right now, and from like the past 2 days, I have been filming vlog and I have been editing it the same day because it just makes it very easy for me to edit the whole vlog. Okay, so and it does not give me much strain in my eyes. So without a further ado, today we're going to be looking into the most unsolved true crime. It's a menacing case. It's a very good case that I personally did not expect it to be this good. Okay, I really like this case because I was, very into, Japanese unsolved true crimes for a period. I don't remember a lot of cases that I have seen, but I remember one case, which is this one, the menacing case of the monster with 21 faces. Now, this case happened in Japan, and let's get on with the whole big background and what had happened in this case. So, on March 2018, 1984, Katsuzahi Izaki, head of Japanese candy manufacturing, Izaki Giko, was having a wonderful evening while he was, he was taking a bath and he was having fun with it, playing with his rubber ducky, and suddenly two hooded men broke into his house with ammunition and kidnapped Mr. Izaki. Just so you know, Mr. Izaki was butt cheeks naked. Now, the next day, after Mr. Izaki was kidnapped, a ransom was made to Izaki's company Giko to turn over 1 billion yen and 100 kilograms of gold in a very specified phone booth, and the equivalent of 100 yen and 100 kilograms of gold is $1 million. That is it. For a ransom, I think that's very less. Yeah, I do think that. 2 days before the ransom was even paid, Izaki escaped, and this is what the Izaki people told. So now what I'm going to describe is how Izaki described the whole, event of how he escaped. So, in a very dramatic detail, he shows that how before dawn, Izaki managed to escape. Izaki managed to work his ropes loose, break down a door of the isolated warehouse where he was kept in, and to find two railroad employees to help him contact police while wearing clothes which his assailants had given him. Unfortunately, Izaki had no idea of who his captors were, but this didn't let the captors down. Later on, demanded for $480,000, threatening to poison Giko candies with cyanide if they didn't receive the money, adding credibility to their threat to their treats. The group then reportedly snuck into the Giko headquarters and set some of the warehouses on fire. Okay. Despite the growing list of crimes, authorities were at loss to pin responsibility on whoever was targeting Giko. In 1980s, a case stemming Japanese police like this was relative rarity. Rarity means, for the people who didn't know like me, is rare. It wasn't that common for people cases like this. So let's continue. To get an idea of how effective the Japanese police were, in 1983, they solved 97.1% of murder cases and 55.3% of thefts, compared to USA's 73.5% of murders and 17 and 17.3 of thefts. Failing to get to the bottom of Kiko case was a black eye on the Japanese police reputation. One newspaper, Yomiuri, ran an editorial saying, quote, "We do not recall a case in which criminals have made such fools of the police." Hi, it is me editing. If I'm saying any of the Japanese pronunciations wrong, please do not come at me. I know that I'm saying it wrong, and I know what I'm doing, okay? But if I do say, and if something offensive, and like if my pronunciations are offensive, I'm really sorry. But I'm trying my best, so please do not come at me. Thank you. Ta-ta, bye-bye. Enjoy the video. Unfortunately for the cops, their situation only became more embarrassing. Perhaps no one was more upset than the police at the police's lack of progress in the case that the criminals themselves. On April 8, the press received one of the first letters. Would be over 100 letters sent by the perpetrators over next year and a half. The letter taunted the police and even tried to help them to do their job. I'm sorry, that line just makes me laugh every single time whenever I read this. Okay, I'm really sorry. It just does. To do their job, they began to quote to the stupid police, "You are idiots. What are you trying to do with so many people? If you were pros, you would catch us because you guys have such high handicap. We're gonna give you some hints." The letter proceeded to debunk a few theories, such as kidnapping being an inside job of the owners of the warehouse Izaki escaped from being involved. The letter writer also gave police more clues, informing that the car they used was grey and naming the grocery store where they bought their food. The letter continued to say, "If you can't catch us after this much info, you guys are just thieves of the taxpayers' money. We should also kidnap the head of the perpetual police." The letters from the group continued to pour in. The letter showed a knack for getting the public's attention and leveraged the media to ensure their threats and crimes were widely reported. The critics at the time categorized their actions as genocide or as crime as theater. The letters often provided authorities with seemingly random details, such as the gate used to enter the factory or the model of the typewriter they were writing on. None of the clues provided in notes, however, went anywhere, causing the police to look more and more incompetent. Almost all the evidence actually left behind at the crime scenes was either stolen or mass produced, more meaning tracking the group down remained impossible. One clue about the letters themselves, however, stood out. The delegate in which they were written pointed to some from someone of Osaka. Though the linguistic theory was interesting, it did not help authorities get any closer to apprehending the people responsible. By June, the criminals had begun referring themselves in the letter as the monster with 21 faces, a nod to a 1936 children's story by Japanese writer Edogawa Rampo, entitled "The Mystery Man with 21 Faces." This is the book that they're saying about. Again, understand. The Mystery Man with 21 Faces is about a thief stirring up newspapers every day, and end quote. And it is so adept at disguises that they could be anyone. One excerpt from the story seemed particularly descriptive of the group targeting Kiko. Up till now, no matter how many police have been called up, they haven't been able to stop this dreadful gang. There's no particular strange feature of this gang. When when they have set their sights on a particular object or artifact without a fail, they will send a letter of warning announcing their intentions, the date, the place, and the object of the planned crime, even though they were all criminals. Perhaps they don't have to engage in an unfair battle, or perhaps they don't want to show that no matter how many precautions are taken, they will still commit the crime and with their great skills. Let me just say, this person or the whole gang is very, very skilled to taunt the police to go and do that and send a letter before they commit the crime. They all have to be so skilled in their job that they might be one of the greatest this might be one of the greatest heist, if it was a heist, I guess. I don't know if you can call this a heist, but yeah, if they did a heist, nobody would know. Okay? That's it. By September 1984, another Japanese confectioner, Morgana and Company, began to receive extortion letters threatening unspecified action if the sender did not receive $410,000. According to the police, Morgana never sent the payment. On October 8, Japanese newspaper received the following letter to moms throughout Japan in autumn. When appetites are strong, sweets are very delicious. When you think sweets, no matter what you say, it's Morgana. We have added some special flavor. This is the flavor of potassium cyanide is a little bitter. It won't cause tooth decay, so buy the sweets for your kids. We have attached a notice to these bitter sweets that they contain poison. We've put 20 boxes in stores from Hakata to Tokyo. The same day, the packages of cookies and candies found in the grocery store throughout Japan with the typewritten label attached reading "Danger, Cyanide." In total, 18 packages were discovered and tested. One found at the supermarket only 35 yards away from the home of Mr. Izaki was kidnapped from. While not all labeled packages were found to contain cyanide, at least one had enough to kill someone. Perhaps because of the warning, no one ever consumed any of the tainted candy. The letter warning the tainted sweets, however, said that the next time there would be 30 boxes and would not be labeled. For the next 2 weekends, it's reported about 40,000 officers stocked out grocery stores across the country. The stakeout yielded nothing throughout, though thankfully it doesn't appear the group went through with the latest threat. The investigators did, however, find surveillance video from October 7 showing a suspect with permed hair, glasses, and a baseball hat placing something on the shelf where poison candy was later found. Unfortunately, the camera was bad and the lighting was poor, and the security tape hadn't been changed over a year, meaning quality of image wasn't great. Images of this man known as Bidoyo no Otako or the Video Man were released to the public, but he was never found. In addition to the grainy videotape, some phone calls attempting to extort money and purportedly placed by the monster was released to the public. Disturbingly, the voices on the tapes were not those of hardened gangsters, but of a woman and a child. At one point, the child is heard giving instructions to leave money behind the seat of a bus stop bench. While the phone recording never resulted in any arrests, it did not provoke the public to reconsider who the monster could be. By March of 1985, a year after first kidnapping, 31 food and candy companies had been harassed and the Japanese finest were still baffled by this case. Sometimes the company being extorted would actually pull together the money demanded, the monster with 21 faces. However, always refused to pick up the money, correctly assuming police would be waiting for them. In one instance, 21 Faces instructed Gilco representatives to wait for a phone call at a truck stop. Plainclothes policemen went instead, and no call ever came. The next letter of 21 Faces read, "So you guys thought that you could fool us, that dressed up in your nice businessman blue suits, acting like you're a salary man? But we could tell immediately those shifty eyes gave you away." At every turn, 21 monster faces seemed to have a step ahead. On one flip side, according to the police, the group never received any of the money demanded. On August 12, 1985, a year and a half later, the first kidnap of the Candyman from the bathtub, the monster with 21 faces sent their last letter announcing that they would stop. By this time, according to the Japan's National Police Agency, authorities had received over 28,000 tips and had used over 130,000 police officers. What do you call? The best case that I've ever seen here. Best. Yes, BEST. Best. Okay? This gang or the person was able to pull this amazing and this elaborate plan for almost 2-3 years, and for the 2-3 years nobody caught him. Still this day, this gang or that person is out there, probably dead, but then too. This case is just mind-blowing. Okay, no wonder if you don't like this case, get out. I don't want you. Get out, Shanice. I don't want your yappa in the comments. Leave. I don't want your yappa. Leave. I don't want it, Jen. Please, Shanice, don't be a rat. So, as you guys know, I do the theories all the time in my cases, which make my videos extremely long, like 50 or 45 minutes long. So, let's do it. Come on. Let's do it. So, let's go. So, the first theory is named "The Monster with the 21 Faces" was an inside job, and that Katsuya Hizaki was in on it from the start. So, this theory was popular at the beginning of the crime wave, and it seems to, derive mainly from the people disbelief that Izaki was able to escape from the kidnappers. There has never been an actual evidence to back up his theory, though some might find it suspicious that Moranga's candy was poisoned while Gecko's was only threatened to be, casting doubt on the theory that the fact, even with no cyanide being discovered in their products, Gecko's business was greatly affected by the whole ordeal. At one point, the monster with 21 faces publicly threatened to poison Gecko's candy. All of Gecko's products were pulled from the shelves, forcing the company to shut down production temporarily and lay off 2/3 of their part-time employees. I would stop the business right there and there. If my business was threatened once, I wouldn't take the chance of doing another, going or proceeding with this business. I get it. At that point in time, you needed to make money, but I still get it. But you are threatened. Your family might be next. I would stop that business and start a new one, which does not involve, sending products out, which involved candy or any other food service. You could have just easily started a TV or television, some kind of thing. You still might be going good because you have the publicity of your candy, and you might just stop making it, and you might sell good products with your electronic or any other thing, like paper. Take paper for instance. You could have just made easily money with that also. Theory number 2 is the monster with 21 faces was someone seeking revenge on Japan's food companies. Almost 30 years before 21 Faces sent their first letter in mid-1995, a stabilizing agent in Morinaga Naga produced dry milk accidentally contained the poison arsenic. By June 1956, over 12,000 infants had been injured and over 138 had died. Morinaga reached a settlement with the families of the affected infants, but in 1969, report showed that the survivors continued to suffer related ailments. By the time the monster with 21 faces began the campaign, the victims of the dry milk incident would have been almost 30 and perhaps ready to seek revenge on the company and the early years so difficult. The company that made years so difficult. The theory, however, doesn't account for why 21 Faces targeted the entire industry instead of just Morinaga. Theory number 3. A man named Manabu Mazaki was at the very least someone involved. In November 1984, after the cyanide poisoning infections showed the monster with 21 faces meant business over 100 million yen was set to be turned over to the criminals in Kyoto. Police surveilling the drop-off spotted a suspicious fox-eyed man and gave chase. The suspect included captured. The police did manage to find the stolen car he had been driving, complete with a police scanner inside. In January, authorities released a sketch of the fox-eyed man, leading to his identification as Manabu Mazaki. The sketch was so true that even Miyazaki's own mother believed that it was him. That the mother, by the way, happened to be from Osaka, the son of Yazuka boss Miyazaki, known as criminal who had organized anti-police actions in college and already had been arrested several times. While it appeared that the police had finally had a face having a break in the case, charges were never dropped against Miyazaki. Miyazaki apparently had a rock-solid alibi and no hard evidence was ever turned up to tie him back to the case. Miyazaki went on to write a memoir detailing his life of crime. The book, released shortly after the salute of eliminations of Man with 21 Faces expired. The cover of the sketch police released while trying to track down Miyazaki was the sketch of the police released while trying to catch Miyazaki down. Though he confessed of other crimes in the book, Miyazaki never mentioned any involvement in the 21 Faces spree. If Miyazaki was on his way to pick up the extorted 100 million yen when police gave chase, he did eventually get his money. The book went to earn the known criminal over 100 million yen. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, subscribe to my channel and become a part of my Unsolved True Crime family, and subscribe to and like this video because it's me. Come on, it's me. I know you like me. So what is holding you back? Okay? And turn on the bell notification icon to get notified whenever I post a new video. And watch my other videos and I'll see you later on with my new vlog. Okay, ta-ta, bye-bye.